Well, welcome back to the second installment on this beautiful Samick guitar. We've decided to go ahead and shine up the frets. They are really nasty, and I'll do a nice close-up on that so you can see what the frets look like right now and what they look like when I'm done polishing them. Now, the electronic equipment on this guitar was really nasty, so what we did was pulled the pick guard off the guitar and shot some electrical contact cleaner inside the volume pots, and they are working perfectly now, and I'll give you a little demo of the guitar and what it sounds like at the end of the video, so hang in there. So we are removing the strings off of this beautiful guitar. Okay, so we have the strings removed off of the guitar. This is something I'd normally do when I pull all the strings off and I'm cleaning it up. The customer was a little wishy-washy about wanting us to do that, but we have convinced him it'd be a good idea. They're kind of mucky. They have a lot of DNA, and even to the point of having some maybe corrosion. This thing may have gotten wet at some point. So I want to give you a close-up look at what these frets look like right now, and I'm going to pick the camera up, don't get dizzy. So here is a good look at how these frets are looking right now, pre-polishing. And here's a look at a couple tools that we'll be using to get the frets cleaned up. And we'll get going on that right now. Alright, so we have the strings off of this guy, and using the infamous Never Dull. Now, you don't want to use this on a varnished or lacquered fretboard. This is a raw wood, it's rosewood. It's not going to damage this fretboard at all. We're just going to go over this and we'll take a look at how shiny these frets could be. Yeah. Nasty. Alright, so having done 4 or 5 of those with this much material on those frets, I'm going to go ahead and use a block and our fret protectors, or fretboard protectors, to knock some of the initial goo off of these things. So stay tuned. We'll fast forward through this part. Alright, so we've gone over this once at this point, and as much guck is coming off of this thing. I mean, this thing is just covered. I believe this guitar sat out of the case, probably in a closet or in a bedroom or something like that, possibly for years. So it's really dirty. You know, a normal guitar that somebody's playing probably won't get this gummed up over time because the frets are being used and some of the DNA is getting knocked off of the guitar. But I'm going to run down this neck one more time with a chunk of our Never Dull, and we'll see how it turns out. And I set my can upside down because the liquid in there gets in the fabric that they use. Alright, so if you need a comparison, rewind this video and take a look at that first shot I gave you of the frets before we have cleaned them up, and I'll give you another nice close-up view of how these frets look now. Hopefully the lighting's good enough for you to really see the difference. But now we have nice shiny silver frets instead of gloomy, dark, nasty frets. And there it is. That's how we roll. So, you know, if you have an old guitar and you are needing some work done on it, bring it into Lagrange Stereo and Music. We take pride in what we do here. We all play, and we want to set your guitar up so that if it was our own, that's what we want to play. And you can tell us what you want, and we will set it up exactly to your specifications, even if it varies from our manufacturer's specs. Some guys like their action a lot lower. Sometimes they want their pickups a little lower or higher depending on the style of music they play or the type of guitar it is. So just remember to bring your guitar down to Lagrange Stereo and Music, and I'll have a few more videos in the following weeks coming up to give you an idea of how we do maybe a setup on an acoustic guitar or other types of electric guitars, maybe a hardtail, you know, set the intonation, things like that. So here we are in the testing, electrical testing stage of the game. We've gone through and cleaned the volume pots and tone pots and shot some electronic cleaner in the 5-way switch. Checked all the wiring under here and made sure there were no loose or bad solder joints or anything like that. And replaced the output jack. It's an output jack, it's not an input jack. So we're going to fire the amp up and works great. So another happy guitar done here. So if you have some work that you need to have done, bring it in to Lagrange Stereo Music and we'll take care of these things for you. Polish them up, get the frets all looking good, take care of the electronics, tuning, new strings, anything like that. Happy to do that. See you on the next one.